You will break your own heart trying to make people love you the way you love them. Stop it, my dear. The most expensive thing you will ever pay for is cheap company. Stop begging for a seat at a table where you aren't even respected. Welcome, my dear. Come in out of the cold. Pull up that chair right there. Yes, the one by the window where the afternoon light catches your beautiful face. Let me pour you a cup of tea. Chamomile, just the way you like it. Take a deep breath. Drop your shoulders. I have been watching you, you know. I see the exhaustion behind your smile. I see the heavy burdens you carry on those young shoulders, thinking you have to be strong for everyone else. You think you are hiding it well, but an old woman sees what the rest of the world ignores. I have lived on this earth for over 80 years. 80 long, beautiful, heartbreaking, and glorious years. And if there is one thing this gray hair and these wrinkled hands have earned me, it is the right to tell you the truth. Not the comfortable, sweet lies we tell ourselves to get through a difficult day, but the raw, unvarnished truth about this fleeting, precious thing we call life. You spend so much of your time running, rushing, trying to prove your worth to people who wouldn't cross a puddle for you, while you are out here swimming across oceans for them. I know the ache in your chest. I know the quiet tears you cry when the house is asleep. I know it because I did it too. I poured my youth, my energy, and my love into vessels that had holes in the bottom, hoping that if I just poured a little more, they would eventually stay full. But you cannot fill someone else's cup if they refuse to patch the holes. Sit with me for a little while. Listen to the ticking of the old clock in the hallway. Let time slow down. Today, I want to share with you what 80 years of living has actually taught me. Because time is the one thing you can never, ever get back. Let me take you back a long time ago, to a season when my hands were as smooth as yours, and my heart was just as foolishly generous. I must have been in my early 30s. I had a friend, someone I loved like a sister. We will call her Eleanor. I did everything for Eleanor. If she called me at 2 in the morning in tears, I was at her door by 2:15. I listened to her complain about the same problems for years. I celebrated her victories. I helped her carry her burdens until my own back ached. I gave her pieces of myself until there was barely enough left for my own family, my own husband, my own peace of mind. Then came a bitter winter in 1974. I was going through a terrible, terrifying hardship. My husband had unexpectedly lost his job. I was sick with a terrible fever that would not break, and we were struggling to put food on the table. I felt like the walls of my small home were caving in, crushing me. I needed a friend. I needed my sister. I picked up the heavy rotary phone and called Eleanor, just needing a voice, just needing a fraction of the comfort and reassurance I had freely given her for nearly a decade. Do you know what she said to me? She sighed into the receiver. She told me she was simply too busy hosting a dinner party and preparing a roast, and that my timing was quite inconvenient. Then she hung up the phone. Click. Just like that. I sat in the dark hallway, shivering from my fever, holding that heavy telephone to my chest, and I cried until I had absolutely no tears left to shed. I felt foolish. I felt used. But in that cold, dark room, as the tears finally stopped falling, a quiet, fierce fire was lit inside my soul. I realized in that painful moment that some people only love you for what you can provide for them, not for who you are. The moment you stop being useful, the moment you need them to pour back into you, you suddenly stop being valuable to them. I never called Eleanor again. I never demanded an apology. I never screamed or fought. I simply walked away. Walking away quietly is the loudest, most powerful statement you can ever make. It broke my heart, yes, but my dear, it saved my soul. I learned the hardest way possible that you do not need to announce your departure from a toxic table. You do not need to explain why you are protecting your own spirit. You just need to stand up, push your chair back, and walk out the door. That brings me to the lessons that took me 8 decades to fully, deeply understand. Please listen closely. First, my dear, silence is a complete sentence. You do not owe an explanation to those who are determined to misunderstand you. When someone disrespects you, your silence and your permanent absence are the best, most dignified responses you can give. Do not lower yourself to their level. Do not fight in the mud. Just leave. Second, you must stop watering dead plants. You cannot love someone into treating you right. You cannot fix someone who enjoys being broken, and you certainly cannot build a happy life with someone who constantly tears you down. Save that precious, beautiful energy for yourself. Third, your physical and mental health is your truest wealth. Protect your peace as if it is your most valuable treasure, because it absolutely is. When I look back at my life now, from the vantage point of 80 years, I do not regret the money I didn't make. I do not regret the fancy cars I didn't drive or the luxurious places I didn't travel. I regret the years I spent being upset over people who didn't matter. I regret the nights I lost precious sleep over arguments that meant absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Do not give toxic people free rent in your mind. Evict them today. Fourth, you must learn to forgive, but never, ever forget your worth. Forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook. It is about taking the knife out of your own back so that your wound can finally heal. Let go of the anger, but keep the lesson. And fifth, understand that getting older is a profound privilege denied to so many. Look at the people who never got the chance to grow old, to see their grandchildren, to watch the seasons change one more time. Embrace the wrinkles. Embrace the gray hair. Do not hide your age. Every line on my face is a roadmap of a life fully lived, of oceans of tears cried and mountains of smiles shared. Do not fear aging, my child. Fear reaching this age and realizing you never truly lived for yourself. Fear reaching 80 and realizing you spent your whole life being a background character in everyone else's story. Take a slow breath with me. Look at these hands of mine. They are frail now. The skin is paper thin, spotted with age, and the veins run blue and thick like ancient rivers on a map. These hands have held newborn babies taking their first breath. They have held the cold hands of loved ones taking their last. They have wiped away countless tears. They have kneaded bread to feed a hungry family, and they have folded in prayer more times than I can ever count. But they're at peace, because I finally learned to let go of control. Holding on to anger, holding on to bitterness, is like drinking poison every single day and expecting the other person to die. It only rots your own spirit. You must forgive yourself for the times you accepted less than you deserved. You were doing the best you could with the wisdom you had at the time. Let the heavy burden go, my child. It is too heavy for your beautiful, tender heart to carry. The universe, God, life, whatever you choose to call it, has a beautiful way of balancing the scales eventually. You do not need to seek revenge. You do not need to have the last word. You just focus on keeping your heart pure, your intentions kind, and your boundaries incredibly strong. The sun is setting now, painting the sky in purples and golds, and my old bones are telling me it is time to rest. But before you get up to leave, I want you to look at me. Look right into my eyes. You are enough. You have always been enough, from the very moment you took your first breath. You do not need to change your soul to be loved. The right people will find you, and they will stay. They will love the parts of you that you try to hide. And the wrong ones? Let them leave. Hold your head high, walk boldly in your own truth, and always remember that an old woman in a rocking chair is rooting for you every single day. Life is terribly, beautifully short, my dear. Eat the cake. Buy yourself the expensive flowers. Walk away from the drama without a backward glance. And above all else, love yourself fiercely and unapologetically.